Alright, grade 9 we'll be starting. I want you to write the heading for now will be numbers, operations and relationships. Numbers, operations and relationships. Today's date, numbers, operations and relationships. Today is the 30th of January. Relationships, it's not to say the relationship that you are in or not, that you are not in. Alright, so we are talking about the 30th of January. Please write out January in full, and it is the 20th, 2020, the year 2020. Alright, so if you have, always make sure you use a ruler, because he is the king. So please make sure you use a ruler when you draw neat lines for me. So please, the heading should, as far as possible, be underlined. Okay? Why are you doing this to me? Alright, make sure you underline that, and also the date. Your heading should be underlined. So we're going to start with a bit of a revision, and then we're going to look at multiples and factors. Okay? So multiples and factors, you can write a subscript which is going to be multiples and factors. And then you can say the instruction will be consider the number 6 and 15. Consider the numbers. Everyone can see on the board? 6 and 15. And then number 1.1. First consider their factors. Put in a 2 dots like that. You know what a dot means? What do we call that? What? A colon. Alright, and then we say number 1.1.1. We say list. Alright, what does it mean to list? List the factors of 6. List the factors of 6, and then when we list the factors of 6, this is a quick tip that I can give to you. When you are answering any question paper, assume, alright, the person who is marking knows nothing. He is a stupid man or woman. Alright, so you need to be as clear as possible. So what am I saying by this? I'm first going to make an example to you. If I were to write this question paper, I will be very clear with my instruction. Alright, so this is as it is. And how would I write my answer? My answer would be factors of 6. And then I would write, what is the factors of 6? The factors of 6 is 1, 2, 3 and 6. Alright. There's ways of shortening this, but for now I want you to write out in full. So you would write answer factors of 6, and then right there you have listed the factors of 6. I need to make you attend. There is some patterns and some stuff that you already might perhaps be familiar with. There's normally groups that go together when we talk about factors. Do you see? 1 times 6 is equal to 6. 2 times 3 is equal to 6. Okay? So those groups are normally your pairs, and your pairs that equal to the factors. So question number 1.1.2, they ask us now, list the factors of 15. So list the factors of 15. And then we say factors of 15. Alright, so I'm going to write once again. Now I'm going to write the shortened version. So this is how I used to factors, or F stands for not the swear word, but it stands for factors, not the other letter, not the other vowel that you are thinking of. Shame on you guys. Shame on you that you guys have a mind like that. So F stands for factors, and then the factors of 15, I would write factors of 15 will be 1, and then 15 can't go into 2, so 2 is not a factor, but 15 can go into 3, and then it can't go into 4, but 5 is a factor, and then 15 is my another factor. Alright, so then I have my factors, then I check all the groups. 1 times 15 gives me 15, and 3 times 5 gives me 15 as well. Now, in our next step, we are going to, in the next question, they ask us to, we first write down the question number 1.1.3, and they ask me, list the 6 factors, list the factors 6 and 15 have in common. Alright, so I'm quickly going to write that. List the factors of 6 and 15 that they have in common. Alright, so yes, you may. 1 is 1, and what else? And 3. Alright, so I would write this in the following manner. So I would write factors. Alright, I'm not going to use I would write factors, and then I would write 6 and 15, and then I would write my answer will be equal to 1 and what else did you say? 1 and 3. Okay, so that is my factors that I have in common. Now they ask me at question number 1.1.4. 1.1.4, they ask me, give the highest common factor they have in common. I'm quickly going to write that. Voila, I'm going to repeat the question, and the question says, give the highest factor they have in common. In example, the highest common factor. Alright, or as you know, we call this the HCF. Alright, so the HCF, and then if what did I say? I'm going just going to repeat what did I say at the beginning. If you are writing an exam or assessment, please assume that the person marking, alright, Bradley, I want to go as far as saying, do you perhaps have a sibling? Alright, so if you have a younger sibling, no, and your sibling reads the question paper, he's only going to see numbers, he's not going to understand. But if I write, for example, the highest common factor, and that is what they are asking me, although he didn't read the question, he will know the answer. You understand? So if your baby brother or sister sees the question paper, they should be able to make sense. Because a lot of times you answer the right stuff, but it's not how we wanted it. Okay? So please make sure or assume that the person marking is a baby or infant that he or she doesn't understand. So you need to explain. And that is the reason for assessment. To test, did I learn in class, and can I explain, or can I put it on paper what I was taught in class. Alright, so that's why I write it out almost as an explanation. Now if I'm going to tell you 5, then 5 can be anything. It can be 5 apples, it can be 5 girls, it can be 5 boys, it can be 5 cars. 5 what? You understand? Now what is the question? The question says, give the highest common factor of 6 and 15. So I would write this question, and then my answer would look as follows. I would write HCF, and HCF I know is the highest common factor. Alright, HCF, and I would write here between brackets, I would write 6 and 15. If there were to be more numbers, I would have filled it in the bracket right there. So I write highest common factor of 6 and 15. Right now I have 2 common factors, namely 1 and 3. What is highest, 1 or 3? 3. Alright, So 3 is the highest, and therefore I'm going to write my answer is 3. Okay. So that is going to be the first part of that. Now they ask me to consider number 1.2. Alright, so we'll pause there.